Hi everyone, my name is Camilla and my presentation is on comma usage. Many people know that commas are used to separate lists and series, but today we're going to look past that particular scenario and dive into other situations that people typically use commas for. So today, we'll be covering what are commas, rules to follow and examples of these rules, and finally, a technique that will hopefully allow you to remember when to use commas. So what are commas? Commas are punctuation marks that indicate a pause or interval between certain parts of a sentence. Now we will be covering the rules to follow when using commas. Although there are many rules regarding comma usage, I decided to pick the top 3 I think people, including myself, run into most often. So for rule number 1, a comma separates independent clauses in a compound sentence. So what is an independent clause? An independent clause is a sentence with a subject and a verb that can stand on its own. So for this particular rule, I'm going to be providing 2 examples and explain which one is correct and which one is incorrect and why. So which of these following sentences is incorrect? The first option is, we washed the dishes and then we cleaned up the mess the dog made. Or is it the second option? We washed the dishes and then cleaned up the mess the dog made. So for this particular example, option 2 is incorrect because there's only one subject, not 2 dependent clauses, whereas the first option has an independent clause that can stand by itself. So moving on to rule number 2, a comma can be used before and or after appositives. What are appositives? Appositives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun. So for this rule, I have the following 2 examples. The first one is, my professor, Dr. Hale, loves music. Or is it the second option, Dr. Hale, my professor, loves music? Which one of these is correct? If you chose the second option, then you're correct. Dr. Hale, my teacher, loves music is correct because you're describing Dr. Hale and something that she likes. So for rule number 3, we have commas can be used to separate quotations. And for this example, I have the following 2 sentences. My professor claimed college is easy. Or is it college is easy, my professor claimed? Which one is correct? If you chose option number 2, then you are correct. Option number 1 is incorrect since you're introducing a direct quote. The comma has to be after the claim and before the quote. So finally, I would like to leave you all with one technique that might make it easier to remember when to use commas, and this technique is called fanboys. Whenever you run into the following words, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so, you're going to need a comma. Lastly, some final reminders before we go. Just remember, you use commas for descriptions to separate more than two or more adjectives. You're going to use them for quotations, so to shift between the main discourse of a sentence and a quotation. And whenever you're in doubt and you don't know whether to use a comma, just remember fanboys. I hope you all enjoyed my presentation and learned something new. Thank you.